why people see or perceived that the mind is more powerful, more strong. No? Even people which is many years on the spiritual path, they see it like that. The reason is simple. You see, throughout your life, just talk about this life, I'm not talking about many lives before, which was the most predominant? The mind or the heart? Everything that you do in life, you do it with your mind. Since small, you are being governed to use your mind. No? Your parents, even if you feel that love from your parents when you're a child, you don't understand the feeling of the heart, because for you, it is normal. It is a natural flow. Then when you start to think, you know, what does your parent tell you? You have to be like this, you have to be like that, you have to be this and that, so much. You go to school, the same thing. You go to college, the same thing. You go to university, the same thing. Wherever you go, people tell you, dictate you how you have to think. No? You go to society, the whole society tell you how you have to think to fit into the society. No? So analyze it, you will see. So what have you fed? The mind or the heart? The mind is fed the moment you start to think. But the heart is there, no? But unknown to the people. When would you think about the heart? When you fell in love. No? Then you feel the heart. Or if you're having a heart attack, of course you will feel it. But most of the time people don't feel their heart. They don't feel that love. Because the mind have taken such a big space of their life that they have never allowed the heart to take over. You understand? That's why there's this pressure. That's why the mind seems very powerful, seems big in itself. When spirituality teaches you something different, teach you to start even to think with your heart. Then people ask, but how can I do that? You know, we think with the mind. Now you, Swamiji, you are telling to think with the heart. But thinking with the heart is not the thinking of how you understand with your mind. It is a feeling. The mind think, the mind dictate, but the heart feel. That's why when you are in love, you feel. But the mind can't comprehend that. The mind thinks, yes, I am in love because I need that person. No? It directs that love even towards something or somebody. Make you think that, yes, because of that person, that's why I'm in love. There's nothing to do with that person. The mind processes it in that way. The mind making you understand, yes, that person I'm in love with. Then in reality, no. You have opened up. When the heart have opened up, the person in front of you is just an object of you to recognize that feeling. There's nothing to do with that person. Because you open up. That's why you could feel love. No? But then what happened? In place in growing that love within you, what you do? You listen to the mind again. You know, you project all the thoughts towards that person, that person become the most important thing for you. As long as the person respond to that love. You understand? As long as the person give you what you want. As long as the person tell you what you want to hear. So what it is it love? Or it is yet the mind which is taking control over? It is still the mind. But yet the heart feeling is there. That's why you feel hurt, if the person don't respond the way you want. Because you feel. But what happens after some time? Even if you are in love, how long does it last? 1 month? Yeah? 2 months? 1 year? Ask yourself. You ask yourself this question. How long does it last? It's not the drama that you see of the outside, people holding hands, kissing each another, and all this really is love. Then they try to make as if the love is still great. But the love is not there anymore. Because the mind have taken over. There's an expectation. How will I fulfill that expectation? If I don't fulfill that expectation, I will lose that person. And that's what you call love? It is a mind. You see? Predominated over everything is this mind. That's why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita said, to Arjun, first of all, he said, offer your mind to me. Let your mind be upon me. So to transform, you see, that mindset, to transform so that you can continuously feel. First, what have to change is your mind. If your mind have not changed, if you have not controlled your mind, you don't have the mind under your control, not your mind controlling you, but you controlling the mind, you don't feel that heart. That's why I always look at the Arjun in the Gita, how his mind was. Have you ever read the Gita? Yes. Very poor. You see, at the beginning, how was he? His mind was very doubtful, but as it progressed, the mind changed until he was ready so that the Lord can reveal himself. So when his heart was fully open, he was ready to listen. Which means the mind was subdued. The mind have already transformed. So for the heart, for you to feel the heart, to feel that love continuously, you have to change firstly the way you see life. You have to change your belief. I'm not talking about believing in as religion, you understand? I'm not talking about believing as religion. I'm talking belief as what you understand of life. You see, as long as you hold upon life as you understand with the mind, you will always be miserable. Then you will never be ready to feel that love. You will feel it time to time. Because nothing is coincidence. God called you on the spiritual path. There's a reason for it, no? Your soul longs for something deeper. Your heart longs for something deeper. But for that, you have to open your awareness. You have to transform, firstly, the mind. By being positive, first. Second, feed the mind with good things. You know, throughout life you have feed the mind always with wrong things. But due to some scars from past, good punya what you have from past, you know, the Lord have allowed you, you know, to get to know something more than the mind. He have allowed you to feel, not just a feeling of short-term feeling. He's calling you to feel eternally, to transform that heart that there is bliss inside of you, constantly feeling that love. That's what He's calling you. Not just a love for 1 year you feel, then after that the love go downhill. No. He wants you to feel a love which go uphill always. And that's bliss. He wants to give Himself. Who have bliss to give you? No one have it. That's why bliss is a grace. But that grace comes only when you're ready to feel constantly that love. You know? Only when you're ready. Otherwise you can't handle it. When you're ready, He will pour Himself upon. When you're ready, He will be visible as you're saying clearly. And that's what love does. Love makes you see the reality beyond the physical eyes. You know, love makes you hear things what beyond what you hear. Above all, love makes you long for something which is eternal, not something which is limited. Because love is eternal. And love long only something which is eternal. So, this is the quality of love. Not what you think about, you know. All what you think about love is complete expectation, pure expectation. That's why the love that you feel play yo-yo with you. Upside down, one day is up, one day is down, you don't even know where you are. Confusion arises. The mind is confused because the mind wants to understand something that the mind can't understand. The mind is not eternal. The mind is limited. So how can the mind, which is limited, understand something which is eternal? Can't. It can understand only when the mind is transformed into divine. The same mind, you see, one moment it is limited, but when surrender to something which is highest, you know, when it's surrendered to God, to His name, when it is focusing on His glory, meditating upon His pastime, that same mind transforms into eternal. So, you see, the mind is not something bad. God doesn't create something which is of no reason. One will say, why God did create the mind then? You know, if it's so bad. No. That same mind, once it is turned towards the divine, toward the supreme, that mind become divine. And once it become divine, then it perceived only bliss. So you see how the mind, one mind, which when it's centered into Maya, it gets limited, drowned in delusion. But the same mind, when it's turned with sincerity to the feet of the Lord, when the Lord Himself become everything, when Giridhariji become everything for one, that same mind become divine. It altered. So you have the choice. You want to follow the norm of society, you want to follow the norm which you have known about love, or you want to follow the norm which your soul longs for.